Gloryland International Academy, the school that's more beautiful than the gates of heaven. But inside, there's one particular class, Class 5B. If the devil ever opened a school, Class 5B would be its headquarters. Miss Patricia Organobo had just landed a new teaching job. As she walked through the school gate, her eyes were shining. My breakthrough has finally arrived, she thought. She could already picture herself in a BBC interview, saying, "I always knew education was my calling." When she got to the staff room, the other teachers sized her up like fresh meat. One teacher, with eyelashes long enough to sweep the streets of Lagos, asked, "Which class did they give you?" Patricia smiled brightly and replied, 5B. The staff room fell silent, like a graveyard. One teacher clutched his chest, "Chai, may God be with you." Another one whispered, 5B is a federal prison, just with uniforms. Patricia just laughed it off. "Children will be children," she said. "Love will conquer all." The teachers looked at her like she was speaking Latin in a mortuary. Her first day was a total disaster. She pushed the classroom door open and was met with noise like a market riot. A boy was doing a TikTok dance on top of a table. Two girls were pulling at a wig in a game of tug-of-war. Pencils were flying through the air like missiles. Someone had even written prison yard on the chalkboard. She forced a smile. "Good morning, class." A boy shouted back, "Auntie, close the door. There's a draft." The whole class erupted in laughter. An eraser hit her on the head. Sand was poured into her handbag. Then Kelvin, the unofficial class president of Chaos, announced, "Everybody welcome the new teacher. She'll be crying before break time." Patricia couldn't take it. She ran out, straight to the staff room, and burst into tears. "I can't do this. They're going to kill me." The other teachers didn't even try to console her. Some were even smirking. But across the corridor, a tiny hero was watching. In the nursery class, 3-year-old Zuriel, a boy with a brain bigger than most adults, was observing the chaos in 5B like a Nollywood detective. While other kids were playing with blocks, Zuriel had his arms folded, watching everything. He shook his head. "This nonsense must stop," he muttered. His friend asked him, "What can you do? You're so small." Zuriel just replied, "Watch me tomorrow." For the next few days, it was fresh tears for Patricia every single day. A piece of chalk nearly blinded her. Someone tied her shoelaces together, and she almost broke her neck. The principal even threatened her. "If you can't get Class 5B under control by Friday, you can pack your bags and leave." Patricia would go home and cry into her pillow every night. But all this while, little Zuriel was planning Operation Save Auntie Patricia. The next morning, the chaos started all over again. Kelvin climbed onto a table and shouted, "Auntie has arrived." But suddenly, the classroom door creaked open. A tiny boy in a Spider-Man t-shirt walked in. Silence fell over the room like a sudden power cut. Zuriel climbed onto a chair and yelled in a voice much louder than his size, "Everybody sit down now." And a miracle happened. All of them sat down like perfect angels. He pointed at Kelvin. "Get down from that table. You're not a bag of rice." He pointed at Amy. "Stop chewing gum like a goat." Then he turned to the whole class. "Your mates in China are flying airplanes, and you're here throwing erasers like cavemen." He then faced Patricia and gave her an angelic smile. "Good morning, Ma. You can teach now. We are ready." Patricia covered her mouth, crying tears of joy. "Jesus," she whispered. For the rest of the day, Class 5B was quieter than a library. But Kelvin and Amy's pride was wounded. During break time, they gathered their squad behind the toilets. "Tomorrow is the PTA meeting," Kelvin plotted. "We are going to finish this teacher." Their plan was to stage a fake fight, pour water everywhere, record a video to disgrace her, get her fired, and lock little Zuriel in the school store. TA day arrived. The hall was filled with parents dressed in their finest lace outfits. Class 5B marched in like a choir of angels, and for a moment, Patricia thought peace had finally been won. But as soon as she opened her mouth to speak, Kelvin grabbed his own throat and started gagging. "Auntie is beating us." Amy fell to the floor, crying dramatically. Water was poured everywhere. Patricia slipped on the puddle and bam, she fell hard. Her wig flew off. One shoe went flying. The principal stood up, furious. "You are fired," he boomed. But just then, a tiny voice thundered through the hall. "Stop right there." Zuriel marched in, grabbed a microphone that was bigger than him, and declared, "They are lying. Check Femi's bag, there's a video inside." Security checked the phone. And there it was, a video of them rehearsing the entire evil plan. Parents started pulling off their belts. Kelvin's mother even took off her own wig. The principal bowed his head. "Miss Patricia, I am so sorry. You are now the head of the primary section, with a salary increase." The whole hall erupted in applause. Zuriel raised a tiny fist in the air. Mission accomplished. Sometimes, the smallest person has the biggest destiny. Never look down on anyone. Your helper might just be wearing diapers. This story is based on a real-life event that happened in a big school. And today just happens to be Miss Patricia's and little Zuriel's birthday. Besties, drop some cake and love for them in the comments section. Thanks for watching. And remember to subscribe before Class 5B finds its way into your life.